thanks to a science paper published in the journal Environmental Research, we now know the mechanism of how 5G and Wi-Fi exposure causes spontaneous abortions, infertility, cancer, cellular damage, and psychiatric disease, how it causes brain damage, in other words. And all of these forms of telecommunication, of course, they use electromagnetic fields. When these fields come into contact with your skin, they produce voltage underneath your skin. So excess voltage, actual electrical voltage. Well, there are what's called voltage-gated ion channels that control how various ions, such as calcium ions, potassium ions, chloride ions, and so on, move in and out of your cell walls. And it turns out that there are voltage-gated calcium channels, or VGCC, that push toxic levels of calcium ions into your cells, including brain cells and neurological cells, when you're exposed to this extra voltage due to 5G exposure or Wi-Fi exposure, mobile devices, things like that. How does this radiation cause brain damage? How is it that the population is being massively dumbed down by these 5G networks? Why do people who live in cities seem to be going insane? For the most part, not everybody, but a lot of people who live in cities are totally insane. And especially, why do people seem to have mental disorders when they don't take nutritional supplements like vitamin C? Now we understand. Because the same phenomenon that creates this voltage-gated calcium channels, for example, also creates what are called peroxynitrites. And peroxynitrites and other similar molecules are sort of pro-oxidation, pro-inflammation molecules that cause systemic inflammation throughout the body. And the way to defend yourself against those molecules, which are created under your skin, in your blood, by exposure to 5G and Wi-Fi and so on, the way to defend yourself is to take antioxidants. And what's the simplest, cheapest, most readily available antioxidant? Vitamin C, ascorbic acid. And the ascorbic acid is able to engage in oxidation reduction to turn these free radical toxic molecules back into safe or neutral molecules that do not damage other cells in your body. Now, vitamin C, of course, is a water-soluble nutrient, which means that it moves through your body very, very quickly within a matter of hours, and that's why you need to take it many times throughout the day. And as I read this research about 5G and Wi-Fi, even I'm exposed to Wi-Fi. I'm exposed to cell phone radiation. All of us are, unless we live in a cabin in the woods somewhere. So I've been taking even more because obviously I want to be safe from those things. I want to protect my body from that. But it doesn't have to be vitamin C. You could just eat blueberries. You could eat oranges, or camu superfood, all kinds of things that are rich in antioxidants. Many herbal extracts, some vegetables, a lot of colors in certain foods, including microalgae such as the phycocyanins that are found in spirulina and chlorella and so on. So there are many different sources, different ways to get antioxidants, but vitamin C is kind of the simplest, usually one of the cheapest ways to accomplish that. In any case, it has really been driven home to me now, realizing that antioxidants can help protect your body from the pro-oxidation molecules that are created as a result of exposure to 5G pollution. And it is a form of electromagnetic pollution. You've got pollution from Wi-Fi devices. You've got pollution from 5G cell towers, pollution from smart meters that are broadcasting through the electromagnetic frequencies, data about your electrical usage and so on. You are exposed to this pollution all the time because it's not the same as ionizing radiation. It is radiation, but it's not as ionizing as, let's say, the radiation that comes from decaying radioisotopes like cesium-137. That's different. That's ionizing radiation that directly causes DNA mutations that lead to cancer throughout your body, penetrating your body. I mean, we're talking about, alpha and gamma rays, particles, and all. It's a whole different realm. When you're talking about just electromagnetic fluctuations at, 50 gigahertz or whatever the frequencies are, 25 gigahertz and so on, these different frequencies, they may not be ionizing or as penetrative, but they do penetrate several millimeters into your body and they reach your blood. And they're in the blood because of this voltage gating phenomenon that I mentioned earlier. They can create calcium poisoning of your cells, and they can create these peroxynitrites that are then inflammation molecules that run around your body and cause inflammation everywhere. I've often wondered, how does 5G cause brain cancer? Now we know. Now that we know that, we can, of course, make some intelligent, informed decisions about nutritional strategies that could help our body defend itself against this onslaught of toxic chemicals that are created in the body due to exposure to 5G fields. And by the way, there's something similar that happens in foods. For example, if you take carbohydrates such as wheat flour or bread or what have you, if you toast a piece of wheat bread and the toast turns black or dark brown in some areas, you are creating in that toast cancer-causing chemicals called acrylamides. Acrylamides are not an ingredient in bread, but they can be present in bread because of the cooking or toasting that has taken place. In fact, all bread crust contains acrylamides. Even though acrylamides are not listed on the ingredients label, they're not added in. They're created as a result of the cooking. Just like these peroxynitrites are created as a result of your body being exposed to 5G electromagnetic fields. So that's the mechanism for damage. Now we understand how the damage is taking place. So it shows that if you want to be protected from all the damage caused by these exposures, you need to be taking good nutrition. You need to have antioxidants. And importantly, this damage that was described in this paper, damage from 5G and electromagnetic pollution, also causes spontaneous abortions, infertility, loss of sperm motility, loss of libido, DNA damage of cells throughout the body, and psychiatric disorders, which is what happens when you damage all your brain cells. So we are literally living in a society of people who are brain damaged by exposure to the 5G networks and exposure to Wi-Fi. And where is this society going? It's going toward more connectivity, the Internet of Things, more Wi-Fi, more 5G, more devices that are talking to the telecommunications systems using electromagnetic frequencies. And after 5G, there might be 6G. You know, they're going to keep going with this. It's only going to become more and more until we destroy our entire society, like the Romans did by putting lead in the aqueducts and lead poisoning their entire population. We are 5G poisoning everybody, and it's all denied by the telecommunications establishment because, of course, they want to be able to spy on everybody using 5G protocols. So they can turn your cell phone into a spy camera against your wishes and without your knowledge. And they'll just spy on you everywhere. That's half the purpose of 5G. But I'm convinced another half is it's a weapon system. It's a weapon system against humanity because the antennas can be directed or beamed at certain individuals. 5G antennas are directional, what are called phased array antennas. And they produce beams that are focused in a certain direction to target a specific individual or specific device. That's how they open up a communications channel. Well, they can beam this voltage at your skin and kill you through this oxidation process, the peroxynitrites and so on. They can kill you through calcium channel and voltage gates. They can poison you to death inside your own body by beaming 5G beams at you. So this is an entirely new weapon system that uses your body against itself, turns your biochemistry into a weapon system to mass poison you from the inside without ever invading your home or attacking you with a bullet or an external chemical. They can kill you with exposure to 5G weapons, 5G beams, while they claim to be building a telecommunications infrastructure. This video was made possible by Brighteon.com. After being deplatformed by YouTube, I built Brighteon.com so that we can speak. All voices of dissent are welcome. Join Brighteon.com now, post your videos today, and start building an audience there where you will not be censored. Brighteon.com.